Time for game 3. Method could wrap this. You look so bored right now, Henry.
Well,
Are we keeping you awake?
The game hasn't been too exciting so far, has it? Like, that's the problem I've got right now. I want to see some.
I mean, there was like a decent lead. It kind of fell apart. There was some excitement in that.
Were you excited?
We can't please Henry G, guys. We can please everybody else. We can't please Henry G.
It's not that I'm bored. I want to see it get a bit more exciting. I want to see this map go in favor of SKDC and hopefully see them bounce back.
Well, I think regardless of what happens in the series, there's been highlights and emphasis put on SKDC's problems. 2 nights in a row they lose on the same 2 maps to the same team. You've definitely got to go back to the drawing board, don't you? I mean, specifically with the CT side.
Yeah, the CT setups just weren't there. Like I think one major thing they're lacking right now is the AWP presence. It doesn't seem to have been that impactful whatsoever for them. They're not moving it around. They don't seem to be comfortable with it. They're going for 5 rifles each time. And they do try to do some aggressive stuff. They're trying to mix it up and react. But the reaction's always met with an adaptation from the Ts. They're doing something else completely. And it's just too little too late. They don't seem to be able to predict what they're maybe coming towards them. And their economy management on CT as well is abysmal. Like, they get themselves into so many ruts. They always force buy after losing a pistol. And that's where it spirals out of control.
And here's the thing. They're going to be starting out on the CT side again. Our SKDC, because this is Method's map choice. We talked a little bit about mid-control, how I would like to see it played, whether or not that's the route that SKDC will take is up for debate. Now, we've seen Stewie also bring out the op a few times, I guess thrown to him when he had the good spawn in T. We've also seen Slimmy, so they could run a double op setup on this map.
I don't think
potentially,
they will.
Yeah, I don't think they will. That's what I was going to go. I was going to say potentially if economy gets good, but they've never had that.
That's been a problem. Like, most teams on Dust 2 or maps like with Cash as well, you can run a double setup. These guys only seem to bring one out when things are going really wrong, and that's normally about 6 rounds in when it gets into it.
I'm going to get my vote in. I'm going to vote Method.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet at this stage. But
vote. Oh, well, it's too late. I'm late. Apparently 90% of the people agree with me. It's already on the screen. I tried to be a part of this.
Well, you're too late, unfortunately. So,
what products do I use to get all that swagger? My mom does all my shopping. Contact my mom. Don't contact my mom. I lied. Don't. I'll ask her for you. We'll leave it at that.
I think we should.
All right, so Method obviously coming into this with the favorites. We said 4 maps. I mean, Mirage, though, is very similar to what we saw, most comparatively to Cash, in my opinion. Very different in its orchestration, but same principles apply. And, I mean, SKDC, we're going to see it right off the bat if they even have a defense ready for this.
Well, we said the CT side needs to be changed. They're going to be starting CT. Whether this is a good call for them, I'm not too sure. They probably wanted to get a decent score in on the T side, which we know they can do, and then at least they know what target they've got to try and get to in the second half. But maybe they've got some sort of game plan going for this third map. We'll see what they can do, but I'm not believing. I don't see this one going in any sort of different direction than Method.
You're not a believer?
Definitely not. But this is Method's map pick, of course. So they'll probably be playing them like a book and just forcing those horrible situations, the force fight, etc. And I can only see this going one way. But it looks like we're almost ready to get things going here. I think the ready commands will be coming soon. But yeah, pistol rounds obviously going to be huge. It seems like SKDC, although the interesting thing about this was we saw so many SKDC actually winning pistol rounds, but then they decoded straight after that, and it was very difficult for them to actually adapt and get back into the situation. That's when it started going wrong for them, and they, of course, would answer back with their own force buy, and then that's when things got a little bit crazy for them. But hopefully they can maybe stabilize this and get into it, and we look like we will be getting ready to go into this one. 5 seconds remaining. So we'll have SKDC on the CT side, which you know they've been struggling on. Method on the T side, 2-0 currently in favour of Method. And a map SKDC must win to continue the series, otherwise Method take a clean sweep of 3-0. But here we go then. Looking at the Method buy, we can see 2 players on utility, which suggests that they're going to do something a little bit more tactical. Maybe towards the A bomb site you can smoke off key points at the CT spawn area and jungle, get in together and then operate like that. Maybe a mid split is in that sort of fitting as well. We can see 2 players for them going towards the apartments, maybe trying to get some attention towards the underpass area before they go through connector.
So the setup does have 2 at the window for the CTs. They're waiting a long way back at A. We're going to get those flashes through now. Ely and mainline. And they'll go. It's going to be Ape and Stewie rotating out of the window quickly. That gets them a bit closer to jungle. There's only 1 smoke on it as well, so the top of stairwell still has vision. That's going to be a point of contention, but up comes a player from Connector to take them down. Silent's going to cut off Ape. The big thing is that the bomb's been dropped inside the site, so Mainline has to get it, and by the time he does, the smoke from CT is gone. Not only that, Slummy's now picked up the second last remaining player on the T side. Method are left with just Strebber and Mainline. I called that wrong. That was actually the third last, my mistake. But Slummy got the shot in Connector, which made things a bit more interesting. And interestingly as well, Ocean's going to rotate off of CT stairs because he's so low on HP to try and join Slummy, but Slummy's down to 4 HP as well. So even though Strebber's left in a 1 versus 2, he has a great chance of doing it. He's not. They spread out, force a crossfire setup, and they'll get this defused. Much better start for SKDC.
Well, you saw the HP they're on as well. You guys really favoured Method going into that round. You see there, got the bomb down, it's 2-on-2. Both players on like 5 HP average between them, 1 shot needed, but they were really accurate with the retake there, and the P2000s locking down the headshots, and of course that gets them their 3rd round of the night on the CT side of the map. So on the CT side of these 3 maps, sorry. So there we go. They got a full rifle setup here. They have 1 MP7 actually on Ape. That allows him to maybe go a little bit closer on the A ramp perhaps and lock down any sort of fast rushes. But the T's here got a full Tech 9 buy with some armor. 1 smoke grenade. Looks like they're going to do a full BXQ here. The smoke probably going towards window or kitchen, and then flashbangs over the top, and they'll just bail out together and see what they can do with this.
Ocean's in a great spot. Doesn't have the flash to line up to go for that right-click throw. Instead, he goes immediately into the fight. He spars off and ends up getting only 1, even though they were lined up. But Silent coming back in for Method does give the chance here, with that gun he's recovered, to go for another eco, the same way we would start it on Dust 2. Bomb down, that also gives good money in the next round regardless of what happens. But with head armor, this is a fair square fight. And Silent, he's going to make it better than that. He's going to give the advantage to Method right now as Stewie gets dropped. Slummy desperate to hit that shot as he runs low on ammunition, swapping to the pistol. They'll come in from either side, and so far so good, or is it? It's Method to close it out. Silent got one. And then it's all left to him to leave it on Slummy. He does it. That's incredible.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. SKDC winning the pistol and then getting this horrible response. There was quite a nice strat from Method as well. Pretty simple. 1 smoke down towards short, it looked like, and then flashes going in there. Got the entry frag, and then the retake just went frag for frag, and ultimately it was your man, was it Silent at the end there, who got the last 2 man of the CZ. So he did fantastic work to win a 2-on-1, especially given the circumstances. But this is what I spoke about before. SKDC do answer back for a full force by themselves. You can see 2 players on the scout now. I think this is a map that really does favour the scout. A lot of opportunities to do some jump shots here. So perhaps not an awful buy from them, but this is how we see them disappear from the game so far, doing this in previous maps.
Scouts back out for the CTs. We've seen this on Dust 2 as well when we had the back-to-back eco.
Yeah.
This time, though, not going to find... Actually, it did take Ely down on the 2nd shot. So initially, it didn't hit, but now it's making its presence felt. Jump shot, just wide. Could have been even better, and Slummy wisely dodges the nades, so good read by him on that play. Ape's now going to take a turn trying to put some damage into Justin. Takes a good amount in return, though. 60 damage onto him. Forces him to think better of peeking for the umpteenth time, as we saw him shoulder peek repetitively. Eventually, the angle would have been sorted from the T side, but now they'll go. They're in toward Tetris. Mainline's already going to jump. Actually, goes to Sandwich. I thought he was going to jump immediately off on top of Jungle, but Strebber finding Ape underneath. They knew he had to be close based on his initial position. Makes things a little bit more awkward in the A site. Not only that, Mainline caught Ocean before he could rotate back in from Jungle. But they don't know that Stewie is in behind. It's Stewie. If he lines this up, has a great chance. He doesn't find the bomb planter, but he gets the player looking toward the T stairs. He's also done damage onto 2 other players, and now the high HP player's lost. Silence gone down as Ellis coming back into the site. Stewie's been spotted out, though, and they are going to try and put it on. Ellis needs to be aware that Justin's pushing. He's not. He's looking the wrong direction, trying to find Ely, and Justin has to close, or rather, excuse me, Stewie has to close this. But they've got a position set onto him. Stewie recovers an AK, and it's down to a 1-on-1. No kit. So he's got very little time to make this work. In fact, he's on top of it. And he may just be holding this. He's not. He gets off it. He can't bait out the shot. So they'll run away and each try and save their weapons, as it will go 2-1 to Method.
Wow, what a round that was. Lots of action there. Stu picking up 2 frags and Ellis getting 1 as well. Came really close from Method, but they get through it just about. The money's not too bad. You see Silence on $8,000 there, so he can help his teammates out with a couple of drops there. But this is where SKDC get in a very difficult situation now. Another force buy with them in terms of the pistols. They did save an AK, but they're going to have to be very careful with their economy management now. If they want to get AWPs going into the next round, can't really buy anything. Stewie with the AK. Interesting to see where he goes. Looks like they're going to do some aggressive push here on the A round. Try to fill that first frag before they fall back, but no one will be waiting for them. This push will be in vain, but maybe gathering some good information.
Well, they do still have bomb over on the A side of their spawn. So if they could catch Justin fast enough, It could make things different. They'll have seen that. It got thrown in a way that was up against the fence. They'll definitely have seen that bomb, but the nade is going to take down Ellis. Not much he can do to dodge that. No dodgeball dodging here. And Ely recovering. Bomb gets dropped again by Slemmy. SKDC making things annoying.
Yeah, he could have just got away there. He had the bomb. He knew who the CT player was. Just get out and go to B, but getting a little bit greedy, perhaps wanted the glory for himself. And there will be one player left, to be Slemmy in a 3-on-1 situation. It's just a matter of time before he goes down, I think. And there it is. The
2 nade kills in 1 round.
Yeah, so 3-1 in favor of Method. You see the CT economy. It's okay, but like I said before, when you force buy so much, you're never going to have a perfect buy going into the first real gun round. 5 rifles for them. No hard ammo again, and no kits as well. That's quite important. If the bomb goes down in any sort of situation, they are absolutely done for. So they need to make sure they're getting these first frags here. But the T's look like they're going in for something quite fast. So maybe a very executed set piece in the first round here.
Both teams with economy that's not perfect just yet. The Terrorists in an okay position. 30,000 on their highest. Actually, 3150, I should say, on Strebber is their highest amount of money in this round, but it's all 3 digits for SKDC as they buy back into this one. 5 M4s. But the off right now from Silent could open it up, and it does just before the smoke comes into play. So Ape going to be revered against that play. Although Strebber, look at this. They've gone for the wall of smoke. They've cut off the sight. They pushed forward, but it's all SKDC after that. Every kill coming back that direction as they try and get that bomb down and cannot. So Utilities coming out, but not having any avail right now, as it will be Stewie to take down Strebber. And again, SKDC was very broke, so important they won that round.
Absolutely. After getting that first pick from Silent today, bomb site, and the smokes going down is the way they did. I'm not sure how the CT's got so many kills going into that bomb site. Maybe the flashbangs weren't utilized correctly from the T's. Normally going into that, you shouldn't be able to do much with it.
And here's the difference of team call, by the way, because this is the situations where we normally see SKDC go for the full force. They could have brought out Galils and AKs right now, but instead, Method playing the long game, they'll go just for Tech 9s.
Yeah, they have armor as well. With the smoke grenades and the flashes, there's a lot they can do. We saw them actually win that round onto B last time. I think they'll probably be doing something very similar. Getting into the B bomb, so it was Silent who got the dual CZ kill was the last time they did this. Can they recreate that magic?
That's a good pick. Ocean actually finding that in a much more efficient manner than I expected, because he did get very aggressive with that many players in front. We saw what happened last time. He's not only going to be efficient about it, but falling back, he'll now take down the bomb, but that's a misthrown nade. Whoopsies. That allows Strebber to come back in and get the kill. So it'll go 3-on-2. Bring it back again to 2 versus 2. These rushes in with these pistols on the B site are absolutely menacing from Method, but SKDC hold on. That's the crucial aspect of it.
Yeah, Slemmy utilizing his advantage there. I think that the T's thought that B apartments were clear of that situation, pushing behind and picking up 2 very clean frags.
The issue as well is, even though look how far in the bomb site they are, they got there so quickly, and by Ocean staying alive, it prevented the bomb plant from coming in.
Sure.
If they got a bomb plant out, they would have AKs right now. Instead, they have to go back to the Tech 9s.
So that's going to be a double eco now for Method. Like, they forced Tech 9s last round. They're going to be doing it again. So interesting enough, we actually credited them last time for saving the money, looking at the long game, but they're not going to really reply back with much. 3-3 now, and it looks like the T players actually heading towards the underpass this time. Maybe going into connector fast and seeing what they can do with it. The CTs are aware. Frags will be exchanged any second.
And shots are all going SKDC's way. Very solid anti-eco. Very little damage sustained. And SKDC take a lead back.
Absolutely. So this is looking a lot more convincing now. SKDC taking more CT rounds than they have the whole night on this half at least, getting 4 rounds on the board. So this is looking much more promising for them. They can see there's still no AWP. They don't seem to need it yet. As of such, they are actually replying and holding off the pushes very well. Method going into this one. Bomb will be going towards B. Maybe a change of mentality here. Maybe get some mid control, go into a B split. But the CTs look like they're very aware, and we can see Ellis there on the short, maybe going for an early peak as well.
Ocean gets so aggressive in this position every time. Again, he's going to be forward, and they catch him this. Eventually, he's going to pay the price for that, and he does. So there's other ways to play that, many other ways. One of which is go for that right-click flash, pop it in before you take the peek. Instead, he goes for those naked, aggressive pushes, and eventually they make him pay. It's down to 3 versus 3, but the rotations have come over quickly despite that early death. Mainline, I'm surprised he didn't win that shot. The reaction on Slemmy. Slemmy definitely had the jump on him by hearing him go to the right, but he was low HP. And this means it goes to 2 versus 2. Justin, though, is going to take down Ape. Very good kill, because now they have a chance to get this bomb in position, potentially, but not clear cut yet, because Stewie's still inside the market. Justin's going to go for it. I'm surprised he actually goes for a bait on that one because Stewie wasn't in position and Ely lets him come out. If he had held that, he could have had it down, and now Stewie has a really great chance of winning out this round. 34 seconds, still time enough to at least play around here, but it doesn't give Ely a lot of chance to put this bomb down. He almost has to find the kill, and they're playing Ring Around the Rosie right now. Ely's not able to spot up Stewie, but he may catch him on the off angle, and he does. Ely just barely coming back with that round.
That was a really weird approach to the round. When you're in a 2-on-1 situation, while you'd have one player with his back towards the window and not having any cover from his teammate, essentially, that was really weird way to play it. I'd say just work out what the CT is. You had enough time on the board. Didn't have to force anything there, but got it down to a 1-on-1 situation. It did work in the T's favour. Ultimately, I think they were the team that should have won that round, so that's how it should have gone down. But interesting enough, now CTs are going to change up their setup. Slemmy finally picking up the AWP, but the T's aren't going to have one, so he should be able to capitalise on this one. He gets some good control in the middle as well, and that's the first pick coming in from Slemmy and gets him back on the board.
And that's exactly what we wanted to see from him. A lot more pressure in that mid. Second kill as well, really swift. As mainline tried to use that close smoke on Catwalk to push a little further up, but SKDC obliterate middle.
Yeah, really strong stuff from them. That's the perfect response. They're finding themselves losing the first pick most of the time, but Justin now, he will take down Ocean, but this is going to be almost a safe situation for them. If they manage to win this round, something's gone horribly wrong in the SKDC camp.
And it's Ellis lobbing a nade inside B apartments. Not only doing some damage, but realizing they're both here. So incoming rotation from Market. They've also got a flank from Stewie that's going to come all the way from T-spawn, get in those hallways. So even if Justin wants to sit there, he won't go anywhere. And news update, Rihanna. T's don't got your money. They're broke.
Yeah, after winning one. Losing this subsequent round after that, they're going to be left to $1,400 each. And yeah, pretty desperate times in right now. Can't even really justify Tech9s at this stage of the game. They need to make sure they actually have some economy going to the next round. Mainline does have around 3k. He'll be able to get a P250. The rest of the guys going to be on Glocks, it seems like. One flashbang the player as well. I guess they're going to be going towards the A ramp by the looks of things. Maybe in the apartments and just doing one flash out of there and seeing what they can do with it. It's going to be Ely. He's going to be flashing him out. So Ely will flash them out onto A ramp, it seems.
All the kills going SKDC. Is Stewie picking up two, staying alive and managing to find that third on Ely inside the site with some decently controlled movement mechanics that allows Slemmy to close out the round. Stewie inevitably had to have gone down, but Ape, interestingly, surviving with 4 gives more guns and more economy to SKDC, so it's not a perfect CT side, but it's a heck of an improvement over the last 2 maps.
This could be another double eco coming from Method now. This is the second time this has happened.
They need to get a bomb down.
Yeah, like they're not getting the plants down whatsoever, especially on their eco rounds as well. So they'll be going into this with another ropey buy. P250s, a couple of flashbangs, a Desert Eagle chucked in for good measure, but looks like they'll be favouring towards the B apartments once again. One flashbang, it's pretty much exact same strat running out here. Just running out and hoping to see if they can catch the CT off guard.
The problem is that Stewie's let them in behind. He needs to be so careful rotating back in from that position. He will find the first, but he's so exposed. Second as well, Stewie overdoing himself. Beautiful play by him because he so easily could have been caught. Ely eventually will drop, but importantly, the bomb has gone down like we said. The round isn't clear cut either because Ely's picked up an AK. That's Stewie's that was dropped. Luckily, Slemmy finds him before more damage can be done. And Justin shut down before he could even repick on the defuse.
So they managed to get a bomb down finally, and the loss bonus will be working slightly more in their favour this time. So it's not over yet, definitely not for Method. They've got a very decent buy this time. We can see Slemmy still does the AWP. He's been pretty impactful for that way. He's actually got 16 frags on the board, so he's doing very good work now, bouncing back from the horrible performance he's put in on D-Cash. So, but as we said, though, Silent has been strong in the AWP as well. He picks up one of his own. He's got a pretty decent spawn. He could go for a pick here on the A ramp, perhaps, see what he can do, see if there's any sort of window for him to get into it. But it seems like he'll be actually isolated with another player. Bomb going towards the mid area, so maybe the connector split we've seen so much so far. The player's getting set up for the set piece onto A. Where are they going to go with this? Maybe a fake, perhaps. They've done the A set execute before. It didn't work out for them. Maybe they could do very similar smokes and then allow the bombs to go into B. That's what it looks like is being set up right now.
Ape so far forward in Palace as well. I really like this position.
Yeah, he's getting so much info, isn't he? If he keeps pushing as well, he could find himself a few frags.
Well, the flashes will come in. Stewie is too close for comfort that time. It paid off last time when they went through Palace and getting behind him. He was able to turn backwards, but this time the company comes to the front door. And they're not going to knock twice. But Ocean, this position's a little bit better for him, but again, still aggressive. He's going to get blinded. He has to drop. That's going to give up the hallways further toward the site, but Bomb goes down on entry, and Ocean has done the job at least to let the rotations come closer before that gets in position and allows the 2 remaining Method players to establish some sort of positional crossfire, but Silent after the plank goes immediately after Slemmy in the window, almost pre-firing it, and it's successful. It's now a 2 versus 2. And the Bomb ticking away for a considerable margin now. Kits on both players, so they got some time to work with, but they may not have any health to do it. As Ellis will finally take down Silent, but Justin, I like it, takes the time to extra line up the shot. Be super careful. And Method get finally another round.
So getting the bomb down, 3-on-2 situation in favor of the CTs, but Silent, he's been on point all night. He manages to pick up a couple of very important frags. So that second one he got in the short area as well. Looked like he was fully blind there, timed the shot to perfection, took down that CT. He did get taken down afterwards, but it was a very simple clutch left for his remaining teammate there. And that's the 5th round on the board for Method. That was actually a lot stronger. The fake on Sway, pretty successful. Only got 1 frag before 2 men got taken down, but there was 2 late at that point. The bomb had gone down, and they managed to pull it back with some great play from Silent. So here we go then. Fast play from LSA. He takes down Strebor and open up this round for his SKDC.
Again, very B bias right now from Method.
Yeah.
As it looks to be a continuing trend. They've got a little bit more presence in underpass, though, with Ellis this time. So this could be very interesting, because if Ellis heads toward B right now, he could actually get immediately behind them. Mainline's the only one that could potentially shut that down if he comes through the halls late, which he now looks to do. But they've gone off it. Ellis won't take that direction. He's going to head over with a straight rotation, but there's so many problems for Silent. 31 HP, and he hasn't even been spotted. It's just the flames on his feet that do the damage, but he finds Slemmy first, and that gives the opening pick to Method. No invitation into the site, at least not quite so easily, and Ocean will make sure of that by taking down Mainline as well. Stewie adding a bonus prize onto Ely, and unfortunately that's going to put it to a 1-on-4, and now he's been spotted as Justin. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, as you said, the T's really are favouring the B-bomb play so far. And the CTs have reacted to that quite nicely as well. They're actually stacking it with 3 or 4 men there each time and just shutting it down pretty convincingly. And now this is going to put Method into a pretty bad situation once again in terms of the economy. $1,400 going to next round. Justin's going to be in a 1-on-4. Seems like he won't be going for the save. He just wants to get something out of it, but he won't. And that's going to lock them down. So they go into this round again with $2,000 across the board, maybe 2,500 average. But they're on the 14th round. I need to work out what they're going to do. Whether they get the Tech 9s out this time or just go for a full-on Glock play and hope they get the last round. But let's see what they can do here. Justin has picked up a smoke grenade. P250s. Maybe they're just going to try and get the bomb down any way they can. If they can smoke off one of the choke points and get a cheeky plan out of it, that's the best I could hope for. The $800 economy boost would be perfect for them right now. But all 5 players heading towards the mid area.
And short smoke on Cat means Slemmy gets caught with the nade out. I'm surprised that he wasn't ready for a slide or a push in that case with the op. Does manage to collect 1, but he's given up position. Very smart to get out a window because he knows they're toward the ladder. And now he's using his pistol. He picks up Justin. Very, very controlled round on middle. Good response. A lot of position given up early, but calls were there. Communication and rotations were on point.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very telegraphed of doing. What can you do when you're up against the ropes like that, though? You've got nothing to play with. A few PT50s and just hope you run up middle and see what happens. But here we go, the final round of this half. 9-5 has been a much better performance for SKDC, actually really responding and sorting out their CT side, being a lot more reactive with the setups as well. Ocean has been a key player, getting lots of information and some big kills on towards the mid-round as well. But here we go then, the final round of the half, and we can see the T's here setting up in middle once again.
Stewie, much like Ocean, has been in this spot multiple times. Ocean on B, of course, not in the exact same spot, but same approach, same aggression. As he looks to cover off the front of A. This puts 8 on jungle. The interesting thing is out of default right now for SKDC, there's no one on the CT stairs. And we always talk about that being such a strong spot. Stewie managing to dodge a flash, turning back around, finding Mainline on the stairs, who didn't quite see him in the corner on the edge of that smoke. But the response does come from Method, and now it's shut down. Ellis will find on Silent. But Slummy's inside the connector. And Slummy with the off up close, not able to connect, so Method are going to bring this back, but Justin, blow a kiss or fire a gun. He's got 8 HP, both would be sufficient. It's 10-5. That's a much better half from SKDC.
Much better than 2 at least. So they actually to go in was actually a very decent chance of winning this. If they get the pistol, that's they're in the driving seat. They can take this one all the way, but we have to remember, this is Method's map. They chose this one, so they had a little bit of a ropey start on the tee, but there's no reason if they don't win the pistol, they can get into the driving seat, get the momentum in their favour, and start getting the rounds. But the problem for them there, that half, was they'd win one round and then they'd just get themselves in horrible situations in terms of the economy. And this was the great round. This is the force buy they got into, and Silent picking up 2 big frags there. That was really important, but yeah, they just need to make sure they can get back into this one and concentrate on their economy. That's the point I was trying to make before, is they'd win one round, lose the 3 after that. They double eco twice that game. And the T side, that's pretty detrimental to your performance. But let's see what they can do here. SKDC go onto the T side and contemplating their buys right now, seeing what they can do with it. Nothing being purchased as of yet.
You know what the weird thing is? I've known about SapphireKelowna.com as the website forever. I've never actually gone to it.
I don't think you should, from what I've heard.
Might be ill-advised. I might have to turn off the parent mode on my internet. But pistol's underway. And it is going to be 3 sets of Kevlar bought up. Ape, Ellis, Slimy. Slimy's going to hold on to those. They've got flashes and also decoys, as well as the smokes we see deployed on the A site. So this is going to be a full-on execution. Bombs coming in. Rotation is swift, though. 4 players already here for the CTs who also have armor. In fact, they've got 1 additional piece of Kevlar up. 1 kit, though, only. That's going to be on Ely. And as they lose members right now, at least 1 in Strever, that may come into play. Only if they can find responses. Ape's going to do the first ticket. He punches away on Silent. And now it's going to be Ocean to bring Justin. So it's back to 2 versus 2, but they've got a crossfire established, and Ocean's trapped in the corner. Unfortunately, it might dry up just a little bit too soon. Global warming won't melt the icebergs fast enough for that ocean to flood.
Oh, you love a pun, don't you? Well, there we go.
Oh, we got to pause. We lost a member for Method right now.
Game crashed as well, but that's it. Method do take the pistol. I actually liked what SKDC did there. Like, nice, fast execute. It's pretty standard. Get a couple of smokes down, get out to the bomb site, exchange of frags. And I think they did get the initial one, but it's just the CTs locked them down. And it did come down to the 2-on-1, but he was too far gone at that point. The CTs got the crossfire set up. Very difficult for him to get back into that round. But the other player will be back into it. And it'll be interesting to see what the CTs do to this one. I think they didn't get the T's didn't get a bomb down, right? So it would be probably likely they're going to get the Tech 9 armor out. We know SKDC do that a lot, but this is the reply from the CTs. They're getting 2 MP7s here. I actually like this on Mirage as well. You can get one up in the B apartments, 1 close to A ramp, and it's very good for that close range, running and shooting, keeping up with the Tech 9. So this could work out very nicely for them. Edie's going to have that rifle in middle area. We talked how important that was, but the T's making their way over to the A-bomb side.
Interesting to note, too, that we haven't seen a lot of SMGs this evening.
No, we haven't, actually.
Which is kind of weird. You just so commonly see them. Justin, speaking of them, we'll have one immediately around the corner from this position in Palace, so he will be the first to potentially get some use out of it. Oh, but he misses it. He almost picks up 2, and instead it results in nothing. The important aspect, though, is that he's done a heck of a lot of damage, so his teammates will be able to come in and just close it up. Or will they? Stewie, P250. Only 1 SMG kill out of all the ones that were in play. Well, I shouldn't say all the ones. 2 of them that were in play. Strever picking up 4. Not a bad round for him, but it would have been nice to see some more money flow in from those SMGs.
Yeah, we saw Justin there. We were talking how good the SMGs were at that time, and he just whiffed completely in the back there. It seemed like the jumping Tech 9 prevailed as well. It just turned around and absolutely executed him on that balcony area. So unlucky for him, but not too bad for the CTs. The bomb didn't go down again. It's going to be a full eco now from SKDC. And maybe just trying a very similar tactic. Got 1 smoke here. Another thing we saw Method trying to do last half is get the bomb down, get out to the A-bomb side as quickly as you can.
Forward position from Justin. Smoke in the middle of the site. Not much more utility, so they just want to block off CT spawn and look for an entry, but that's entirely shut down. You shall not pass. No one even getting close enough to plant that bomb or even consider it. Silent with 2. Everyone else pretty much getting in on the action. And they're within 2 already.
Of course, SKDC force at every opportunity they get. It's going to affect their money going into this first round. You look at the equipment they've got to play with. 4 smokes, and that's pretty much it. A couple of flashbangs chucked into the mix for good measure. But this is a round they can't really do anything too heavy in terms of execution. CTs now keeping their pharmacies, trying to keep things strong. Going for that first pick in middle, but Ape does take down Ely. That's a great first pick for them to get back into this series.
Great way to start up by getting mid-control as well. They do try and go for that cat swing to get an additional angle. Slight gap in the smoke. Justin, he can't see through it just yet. Now he does. And Ellis, I'm sorry, sir, that's the middle of nowhere. And it's going to be a lonely place to have your grave dug. We'll see if you get any visitors. We'll see if mid has any more attention. Ape's going to bring the bomb back over toward A. Slemmy Meanwhile, is at the cubby, still waiting to try and get into connector. No one at windows, so he does have a chance, but Ape, interestingly enough, is having withdrawals. Second thoughts on approaching the A site. Still a minute, so he has lots of time to reconsider, but they need to find a chink in the armor of the defense.
Still have plenty of time, though. They've got 2 AKs here. Just need to find one pick that gets them straight back into this round. Because Slemmy's actually in a pretty cool position. No one seems to know he's there. He could actually find an entrance here.
They want to try and get this back there. So interesting that they rotated initially for a split, and then they bring it both back to middle. The timing's unfortunate. Justin happened to peek window. He hadn't the entire time, and as soon as the bomb arrived, he did. Not only that, Slemmy's smoke does leave, a bit of vision, which allows Strebber to get the call from his teammate that he's walking in that direction. They'll close it back up. It's 10-9. Things getting close, and unfortunately for the T's, it's going to be back to, well, we see a Tech 9 already up for Ocean. I assume they'll bring out a few more of those.
Yeah, with the loss bonus where it is, they can definitely justify it. Tech 9's coming out. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw some smokes and some flashbangs chucked into the mix. There it is. Perhaps just trying to get a bomb down here. That's all they can really do. Without the head armor to play with, it's going to be pretty easy to shut down as well. You can see all the players. It's going to be, is it all 5 of them going up into the B apartments here? We saw Method do this pretty successfully. Tried it a couple of times, flash into B, jump out together, but the armor makes that so powerful. When you don't have the armor, you just get mowed down by the M4s. So here we go then. All 5 players will be in the B apartments trying to execute now.
Mainline falling. Does so successfully. Stays alive. Keeping himself efficient for the rotations, but also, more importantly, dropping that bomb down. Stewie does do a little bit of damage. Stewie doing a little bit more. So the Eco doesn't really get anything done in terms of a bomb plant, only knocking away 2 guns, but they'll bring back up rifles immediately. I'm interested to see, yeah, there it is. That's what I was going to call. If we were going to see the T-side op, and Slemmy's going to go immediately to it.
He was very strong in the CT half. He got some good picks. I think he finished on about 18 frags in the first half, so why not? He was stellar with it last half, so he can potentially find some picks, but the dual up setup is out from Method. We like this. We think this can be very strong for them. Let's see how it pans out. Slemmy is going to be looking for a pick in middle, but he's going to be contested as well. Will he be able to find anything? Nothing in the window though. Ely does take down Stewie, and he gets that short aggression. Slemmy does answer back though, and now it's a 4-on-4, which does favour the T's. Will they be able to capitalise on this one?
Shots rattled through the smoke from Justin, but the Rattlesnake gets no bite. Slemmy's on 39 with that aggressive op. Still looking to try and find Catwalk. Justin readdressing. That was a very good pick because it was initially thought that there would be no one toward that window, and it's a late peak, so it catches off SKDC, who, remember, are already down 2 maps in this best of 5. So Method looking to take the lead. The first lead they would have since the Eco off the start.
Yeah, it's 5 in a row for them so far, building up a very nice momentum here. We see the final T players going into the B-bomb, so they have got a couple of smokes and flashbangs to play with. They need to find a pick there. This is going to be successful.
I love this vision, this angle right now in the camera, because we can see how this is going to build. Mainline snuck on. Now he goes for that jumping peak, and he realizes there's 3. Slemmy, T-side off, making a huge presence. It's 2 kills, but the second one has so much impact because now look what happens. Bomb is going to go down, but the flame is from Justin, who's having another great round as he puts himself on the second kill and makes this a lot more probable. Unfortunately, it came in just after the bomb is planted, so they still have to get this defused. But with 3 members all on kits and Strebber catching Slemmy in the open with low HP, things are looking good for that to happen. Ely will go down, and that nade won't go far enough, but they've got Ape Echo located. They haven't found the kills, and it's going to switch to a pistol. Ape's going to close it out because Strebber exhausted all of his ammunition on the first kill and never reloaded.
Huge 3-on-1. What a way to get back into this. That would have been 6 in a row for Method, but Ape finds some amazing form out of nowhere. He's been reasonably quiet this game as well. He was bottom fragging before that round, and what a round to enter back into it. That was fantastic. That entry kill from Slemmy onto the B-bomb side as well, that was what they got him into it. It was disappointing for Mainline to get taken down like that. He needed to find 1 frag. He didn't, but that 3-on-1 clutch from Ape, amazing. And that could be what saves that map for them.
Silent this time is going to take a very different approach with the op as well. So we are going to see that Catwalk play come in a little bit more. And by Silent covering off mid from that approach, it also allows now for Ely, who hasn't spotted anything at top middle, to rotate into the jungle. And this puts a little bit more defensive pressure on the A site. So initially the smokes come out, but they are going to get slowed down. Bit of an overstep from Ely, though. That's caught by Ocean. Streber, oh man, I love it. Just through the smoke, instantly spotting one. Unfortunately, it's countered out. It could have been so pretty. It still is effective. As Justin, again, plays the man of the anchor. Finding one, but caught in transition. And SKDC, never the wrong moment to pick up 2 rounds on a T side. They'll go back in the lead.
Absolutely. Look at the money in the CT camp as well. It's getting dangerous for them. They need to play this one very carefully. If they force and lose this one, they're out of it. I think they have no option here to do that. They need to make sure they come back strong next round. But the momentum looks very strong for SKDC. A very convincing round. Pretty simple set piece on the way, but they made the frags. Justin could have been the savior for Method, but he only managed to find 2 frags and then he got shut down with an overface, perhaps. But now the CT's pushing up into Palace. Will they be able to find Stewie? He'll be waiting for them. It's going to be an exchange of frags. Silence takes him down, but that's great info for the T's. They know now they can get into the B bomb side very fast as long as they get in quickly. You can see one player that's going to be Abe leading it. He needs to get in and clear that side out right now.
Abe's already there. He spotted Ely initially with that pistol. Taking the peek from the market. They've also picked up that AK, keep in mind, for Silent. They don't have armor on it, though, so it's probably going to be best used in a save situation. And there's no one really toward middle right now that could punish them for it, although Ellis is getting up further on catwalk, so he'll spot. He's definitely heard. And he should also be able to make the call that that player's run toward Horseshoe to look for exit. So there's one on essentially a CT on either side of the escape route. So there will be a confrontation at the end of this round regardless, but it's SKDC now on 13. So Method came so close to taking a lead back, and they haven't done it. Silent tanks the nade down to 2 HP, and SKDC, they just push out and swarm on top of them. It's left to 3. Guns up and none saved for Method. That's crucial.
Obviously a huge round here. That's 3 in a row now. This game has been so back and forth. We saw Method take the first 5 rounds pretty convincingly, but that huge clutch from Ape has got them back into this series. And now they have taken a massive lead here. They've got a nice bed to play with. And obviously a huge round here. The CTs struggling to get a full buy. 2 Famises there. And the AKs and the AWP on the T side, you've got to favour them. And an aggressive push now from the CT. They're getting up there. They want that first frag in their favour. 3 of them committing to this.
I do like this push. We see this a lot late in games when the CTs need to throw a curveball. And that's what Method's trying to do with it. They're staying there for an awful long time.
Too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, because now they did look toward underpass because the timing was such that they could have been there. But the problem is you either go to the quick flank and get behind them at A, or you're late to the party. And right now the party's already started. In fact, the barbecue's lit underneath the balcony. Justin's going to manage to get up on top of the cinder blocks, but he's being spammed, and he's limited on movement by being trapped underneath the wooden boards. Good trade for him to at least pick up 1, considering how much damage they put in early, but Stewie comes across very quickly, and Stewie picking up 2, and now it's Slemmy SKDC looking revived. This is a whole different team than we saw on the first 2 maps. As they look to wrap up round 14, it's just Mainline who cleverly spots the head of Ocean through the edge of the box, but that's it for him.
He's got to get out there. This is dire straits for Method now, getting themselves in a very unfortunate situation. They gives themselves the decision next round. If we lose this one, we go to map point, but we have the chance of getting the momentum back in our favour and going for overtime. I'm not sure what the right decision at this point is. I'm going to have to see what the money is to see what they can do with it. They have got 1 M4 to play with. They could force out some Famises, an M4 perhaps. It's such a difficult call right now. I guess they probably have to go for it. I'm not really sure. This is such a big round. But I would have potentially taken a pause in this situation, just talk it out properly, work out what they're going to do. It looks like they're just going to go for the full buy next round. So hopefully, maybe they can find a couple of frags in mainline here, but you have to favour SKDC, and it looks like they'll be playing for the overtime.
Push through. Ocean! My God, man. How do you not hit a shot there when he spams that much away? Perhaps confused as to which target to eventually lock onto. That gives the kill to SKDC, and now they also push back or fall back, excuse me, into the site, and Mainline's able to take down Stewie. So Method picking up 2 early, but 3 going the other direction still bodes well. They've got 2 guns as well right now, the Method, so I think they'll look to try and just survive with these, but they'll succumb to their injuries in this round. Concede match point for SKDC.
Yeah, you can see they've got so much good control on the map. They've got middle controlled, kitchen locked down. There's definitely nowhere of no kits. Well, actually, they've got a kit, but obviously nothing they can really do with it this venture. So, going to have to hold in Palace area and save the guns. after this, they're going to need 5 in a row. They did that in the first 5 rounds of the game, but then it started falling apart from there. This has been a really exciting series. This is what I was talking about going into this map. Wanted to see an answer back from SKDC, and what an answer this has been. Making sure they don't go out without a fight, and getting themselves for the first time on map points, and going into a very strong next round for them as well. It's going to be difficult with the CTs to answer back. They've got a massive mountain to climb now. But this is the time they want to end this. They need to end it with style. 5 in a row required.
Oh, the nade doesn't even get to detonate. 5 in a row required, as you call it. It's going to be Ely to buy the op. Now, is he going to hold it? We haven't seen him wield it. I have a feeling that's going to get tossed over. Actually, they're going to go double. We're going to see Method go for the double. And Ely is going to wield it. He's going to head immediately toward mid because he had the fastest spawn. It's going to be Ellis. That would be the closest, and that never transpires because the smoke comes out. Now, that does allow Slemmy to slide over. They need to be aware that there's a possibility that that corner is going to be occupied because of that single play. And they are. They bring the catwalk player out to preemptively spam toward it, and it does decent damage to Slemmy, who's the op on the T side. If they could win this duel, that's a big pick to have early. That nade's going to do more damage. There it is. Ely finds it. Really good response from Method. That's Strebber. He's still got a job to do on A. Late smoke on B as we see deployed, but right now bomb not really committed. It's outside A, but it may now fade off of that because the initial pick goes against them for Strebber on the balcony. Stewie not able to get the entry kill at all. And they'll reconvene. Ape's actually going to fall out of B, so they could look for a late hit mid.
They have got full buys still. Got smokes, some Molotovs there. So they could execute on something if they want to, but right now they just desperately need a pick.
And here is that late hit mid. The flash goes out. That allows Ape all the way over. In fact, he goes all the way to Cubby. I thought he would go down quickly and try and scout out Connector. Silent and Mainline both playing so passive in B because they're expecting another B hit. We've seen so many of them in this game. That gives a little bit more room to breathe. And just as Mainline leaves B, getting a call that there's some utilities deployed in middle, they head down catwalk, which means it's left to just Silent in the site. But he's not going to be silent. He'll find the first quite loudly with the AK, and that allows Mainline to come back in. But the trades stay even. The situation does not. It's 1 versus 3 for Ape. And the AK looking to do a little bit more damage against the op of Ely. And it's 2 ops up, by the way. So they've got to switch to these pistols, but that nade does so much damage.
Yep, so obviously a round Method had to win. Great opening picks from them. Forced it into a 5-on-3 and made the T's do something they didn't want to do. They went up short and they got the bomb down. You look at their money now. They're pretty much set for the rest of the game. They shouldn't have too much of a problem. Ape is going to be set on 10k. And that's a good start from Method. 4 in a row now. No AWP this time from SKDC. So perhaps they've got a more of a set piece they have in mind. They don't want to rely on the AWP to have to try and force that situation. So you see all 5 players heading towards the A site as well. That does suggest the set piece will be coming. Let's see how it unfolds for them, but maybe this is a good call. A simple strat just to end it all and get the final round on the board for them. Smokes and flashes going over now.
Smokes, flashes, all going over and all into A. Ellis finding first kill. It's SKDC now with the man advantage. Make it 2. They've stretched this out. 4 versus 2. As Ely with the op is desperately trying to find the spam spot on the box to prevent that bomb going down because it would buy them so much more space on this defensive side, and he'll hit it, but it's late. Bomb's already in place as match point looking strong for SKDC. But not so strong enough that it's invincible as Mainline will bring it back to an even keel. And Ape's so low on HP, smoked into Palace as well. Ely's got to watch. Ely's got to play both angles. Ely's going to find it. Ape walking out, and now Ely's going to play the role of Hiko. But no, it's not for Mainline to defuse. He has to still take this fight, and he can't do it. Ocean will win it, and SKDC will force out at least map 4.
Like I said, a simple execution when you've got a few rounds to play with as well. Just doing that sort of the bat. They got in there, got the first 3 frags exchange. Bomb went down. Very difficult retake for the CTs, but they managed to do it. It was a really close affair going into those final couple of kills, but what an exciting finish to that, and SKDC showing some signs of life.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, and that was a much revitalized CT half, not only from them, but their T side. It started slow, let's be real. They gave up 5 rounds, lost the first gun. There was potential for them to start tilting and slipping away, and after the trends of the first 2 games, I thought that was actually going to be the case. They came right back.
Absolutely. What a way to come back as well. Their CT side looks refreshed. They seem like they're hitting shots. An AWP working magic as well, but let's have a look at the scoreboard then. Who was the people stepping up for SKDC? Seems like Stewie was instrumental to their power there. 26 frags there, 17 headshots. Slemmy as well. Very good performance from him.
Yeah, and I mean, again, looking at the first kills bar is always an interesting one for me. Slummy only had the one initial kill, but Ellis obviously having some impact early into the rounds, excuse me. But we go to Inferno next as we look a little bit further at Stewie's stats. And Inferno, again, CT side SKDC is going to be very important. Economy, even more of a factor on Inferno just because of how linear it can be. And if SKDC can play as they just did, if they can revitalize themselves again on Inferno, there's a chance they can pick that up. And we do see the 5th map, but Method, it's SKDC's map choice, is it not?
It must be, yeah, if Mirage was...
It is, yeah, so they actually have to start T-side. So if Method can get a good start, then it's going to be an uphill battle for them.
Absolutely. Well,
I did think about that.
I think the odds we may have seen before, the 90% but 10%, may have just stabilized a little bit. You could see some shift in the predictions.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how fickle Twitch chat is. I'm calling you guys out. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. It will be Inferno. It may not be done or done just yet. We'll see if SKDC can continue fighting.
It's okay, but like I said before, when you force buy so much, you're never going to have a perfect buy going into the first real gun round. 5 rifles to them.
Bring it back again to 2 versus 2. These rushes in with these pistols on the B site are absolutely menacing from Method.
He's got to capitalize on this one. He gets some good control in the middle as well, and that's the first pick coming in from Slammy and gets him back on the board.
And that's exactly what we wanted to see from him. A lot more pressure in that mid. 2nd kill as well, really swift. He will be the first to potentially get some use out of it. Oh, but he misses it. He almost picks up 2, and instead it results in nothing.
The equipment they've got to play with, 4 smokes, and that's pretty much it. A couple of flashbangs chucked into them.
Immediately to it.
He was very strong in the CT half. He got some good picks. I think he finished on about 18 frag in the first half. So form out of nowhere. He's been reasonably quiet this game as well. He was bottom fragging before that round, and what a round to enter back into it. That was fantastic. Such a difficult call right now. I guess they probably have to go for it. I'm not really sure. This is such a big...